And today we'll be diving into this idea of less is more. The fourth Yama in the yoga practice is Brahmacharya, which is also known as non-excess. What this literally translates to is, I've heard, walking with God, or I like to think about it as an invitation to a closer awareness of the sacredness of all of life. In Deborah Adele's book, The Yamas and the Niyamas, which I've talked about quite a few times in this class, she mentions non-excess is not about non-enjoyment. She says it actually is about enjoyment and pleasure in its fullest experience. So the questions before us are, she says, are you doing the activity, or is the activity doing you? In answering these questions, we have to be able to discern between what the body needs in the moment and the story our mind is telling us. The way she talks about Brahmacharya or non-excess is this idea of finding beauty or finding that sacredness in everything that arises. Finding enjoyment. In the next couple of breaths, you can gently start to shift towards tabletop. And then just set your hips back towards your heels again. So you're in a kneeling position. You can bring a block under your hips if you'd like. And this is where you'll want your strap. And you can just take your strap between your hands, so a little wider than your shoulders. And we'll start with some shoulder opening here, kind of focusing on the shoulders and chest area today. We will get some hip stuff in, don't worry. Just letting your hands extend out and gently tug the hands apart here. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, let your hands fall back behind you any amount. You might need to slide your hands a little farther apart. And then inhale, bringing your arms back up. And exhale back out in front of you. And we'll do this a few more times so you can just keep on going here, moving with your breath. This is called shoulder flossing. This idea of kind of waking up the shoulder joints, getting in between those little spaces, those tight spots in the shoulders. Next time you go around, think about hugging the front ribs back, kind of keeping stability in the center of your body as you wake up the shoulders. Let's do one more round. Nice and slow, steady. And then gently bring your hands up and overhead again. You can keep on holding onto your strap and gently tug the hands apart and then lean over to one side. Continuing to pull up through your top arm and gently tug down through the bottom arm. Same concept here of hugging in the front ribs, lifting up in the chest. And then gently come back up through the center on your next inhale and lean over to the other side. Gently leaning over, finding that space in the side of the body, gently tugging up through the top hand, down through the bottom hand. Next inhale, come on up. And exhale, bring the hands down in front of you. You can set your strap off to the side. And then come into your tabletop. Just bringing the knees under your hips and hands under the shoulders. And then walk the hands even farther forward. Let's come into puppy pose. So puppy pose, arms can be straight out, or sometimes it can feel nice to bend the elbows and kind of bring your forearms parallel. Let your head fall just behind the arms. So no, that's another option. You'll want your hips and your knees to be in line here, more or less, and thinking about lengthening the back. So this is kind of like down dog on the knees, heart melting pose. Breathing in. Breathing out, feel the navel draw up and in. And one more breath in here. Exhale completely. Gently come back to your tabletop, hands under the shoulders. Let's round the back for cat pose and stay here for a couple of breaths, feeling those little intricacies about the pose. So this idea of more is less can kind of come in this way of your approach to the shape. It's like, what kind of effort is here? Could it be a little less and feel a little more? Let's take another exhale, let all the breath out. And inhale to a neutral spine. Lengthen your chest forward. Let's tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, feeling that length in your back, just like in puppy pose, pressing into the hands, lifting the hip creases up and back. Take a slow breath in, a slow breath out. And then seal the lips, starting your Ujjayi breath, bringing that quality of flow to your breathing. Your inhale naturally leads to your exhale. And what arises from your exhale is your inhale. On the next inhale, bring the knees down onto the mat and then lower your forearms onto the ground, coming into forearm plank. You can lift your knees up and off of the ground if you'd like, tucking the toes. Spread your hands wide on the mat so the elbows are right under the shoulders or generally in that direction. Feel the space between the shoulder blades puff up here and then lengthen from the inside out. Press back through the heels. Lift the inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Take another breath in. Drop your knees, lower the hips, lower the belly for Sphinx pose. So we're going to stay propped up on the forearms, opening through the front of the body. If you don't want to put pressure on the belly here, it might feel nice to slide a blanket under the pelvis. Just know that's an option. Pressing into the elbows, broaden across the chest here. And see if you can lengthen the back of the neck. So dropping the head enough to feel the neck in line with the spine. Take another breath in. And lower onto your forehead as you slide your hands down to your sides, setting up for locust pose. Palms flip up towards the ceiling, lift the chest, press the tops of the hands into the ground, and lift your legs up if you'd like as well. 2 more breaths, lengthening up through the armpits. Inhale. And exhale, soften onto the forehead. Slide the hands next to your ribs. Press into table. And then tone the front of the belly, the front of the body as you stand on the knees. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to the low back. Fingertips point down. Mini camel, elbows hug in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lean back. And then exhale, hands on the hips as you lengthen your back. Let's take a big step with the right foot towards the top of the mat for a low lunge. A little different transition today. Let's sweep the arms up and overhead. Inhale, Cactus arms, exhale, bend the elbows, lift the chest. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Let's bring the hands down to the inside of the right foot. Inch the right toes forward, half splits. Come onto the heel. Draw the hips back a bit as you lengthen the front leg. And let's lift halfway as you inhale. Exhale, fold over that leg. Drop. Another breath in. And out. Come back into your lunge, bend into the front knee. Option here to come into a twist. Left hand plants, right arm reaches up, or it might feel good to just stay low and be in your dragon lunge. If you're in your twist, you might choose to lift the back knee off of the ground, kind of lifting the pose up a little bit away from the ground. A little bit of a challenge here. We're going to bring the left forearm onto the ground so it's parallel with the front of the mat. And then step to our forearm side plank. Right leg is going to step back as you roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Nice transition. Lift up through your right side hip up towards the ceiling. Press into the elbow. Another breath in. Forearm plank as you roll over and exhale. Right forearm comes down. Just kind of evening out your arms here. A little funky transitions. Being patient. Less is more. Breathing here. Lengthen through the heels, through the chest. On your next exhale, lower the knees, Sphinx pose. Peel the chest open. Find that spacious quality in the front of the body. Think about pressing the tops of the feet down, gently hugging the legs together. Another breath in. As you exhale, lower your forehead down, slide your hands to your sides. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Peel the chest up, arms up, legs up. Inhale. Exhale, 1 of 3. Breath in. Exhale. And last one, lengthening up through the armpits, broaden across the chest. And exhale, lower down. Hands slide next to the ribs. Press to your table. Inhale. Solid through the front of the body as you rise up, reach up in the arms, standing on the knees. And then bring your hands to the low back, pointing down, mini camel, lift the chest, arch the back, and stand up tall, hands on the hips. Stepping the left foot forward for your low lunge on the other side. Let's settle in with the low legs, and then sweep your arms up on your inhale. Bend your elbows, cactus arms, open the front of the body here. Feel that spaciousness. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to the inside of the front foot. Inch the toes forward. Straighten the left leg and draw the hips back like you're lengthening both sides of the body and then folding into that space. Good, everybody. Let's take another breath in and out. Come into your lunge as you inhale, preparing for a twist. If you're going there, right hand on the ground or a block, peel open to the left and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe tuck the back toes and lift the back knee up, finding some more space, a little more strength component there. And then taking your time, we're bringing the right forearm down parallel with the front of the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. That might help. And then stack the left foot on top or in front. Your feet don't have to be stacked. They might be kind of staggered on the ground. Lengthen through both sides of the body, navel to spine. Another breath in. Forearm plank, left forearm comes down. Spin the right hand forward and breathe here. Elbows press down, the space between the shoulder blades puffs up. Lengthening in all 6 directions. Expanding. Take another breath in. Exhale, knees down, Sphinx pose. Peel open through the front. Good, and then lower onto the forehead. Hands slide to your sides. Maybe this time interlace the hands at the low back. Curl the chest forward and up. And then you can press the tops of the feet down or maybe hover the feet up. Your call. Breathing in. Breathing out. Another breath in. And then exhale, soften forehead down, release your bind, hands to the mat. Press back to your table. Firm the front of the body and stretch your arms up, standing on the knees. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to your low back. Little camel here, elbows hug and curl open. And then stop tall in the spine, hands on your hips. Step your right foot forward. We're going to switch it up a little this time. Stepping with your right foot, you're going to step to the top of the mat. So your hands might come forward onto the ground and come into a forward fold here. Left foot meets the right. Drop your head, chin to chest, and then stand all the way up. Reach the arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands come down to your sides. Hands to heart center. As you inhale, this should feel familiar from last week. Interlace the fingers and press the palms forward, chin to chest. Inhale, pressing the palms up, lengthen through the sides of the body, and then hands down to your sides. Exhale. Right knee in towards your chest. Feel free to hold with your hands, or hands can be elsewhere. Just thinking about grounding down through your left foot, spreading the toes wide. And if possible, think about your spine stacking on top of your pelvis. Nice and tall, scoop in the navel. Another breath in. As you exhale, bring the right foot back down onto the ground. Inhale, hands to heart center. Interlace, press the palms forward, round in. And inhale, stretch the arms up, reach up. Hands float down to your sides, and then draw the left knee into your chest. Stand up tall, rooting through your right foot. Feel that grounding action here, strong and steady. Can you put in less effort and get more joy, more enjoyment? Another breath in. Exhale, bring the foot down, sweep your arms up and overhead, inhale, and then bring the hands to your low back, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles back, curl the chest open. As you exhale, fold over the legs, let your hands fall behind you, soften the knees. Chair pose as you inhale, hips sit back, arms sweep up. Standing on the left foot, bring the right knee in towards your chest. Stand up tall and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Figure 4, drop the hips back. Option this week to kick eagle arms. Your right arm will cross under the left. Option to do a self hug here. Or you can let your hands free, bring the backs of the hands together, or the right fingertips into the left palm. Once you're here with your arms and your legs bound, connected, firm, you might inhale, lift the fingertips up, lean back a bit. And as you exhale, round your back and curl in a little bit. One more of those, inhale, lifting fingertips up. And exhale, curling in. Good. Inhale, unravel your arms. Let's bring the left hand to the hip, right hand to the right knee or the big toe. Same transition as last week here. We're going to bring the knee out to the side. Maybe you start to extend your leg with your peace sign fingers on your big toe. It's your call. Think about stacking your spine up and over the pelvis again. Lift the chest. Let's bring the leg, the knee, the foot back through the center. And then release your hand from your leg and stretch the leg straight out. See if you can lift it a little bit higher. Inhale. Big swoosh of the leg back behind you for a warrior 2 stance. Right foot back behind, left knee bends, arms stretch out into a T. Get grounded in the lower body. Reaching through the feet. Reaching through the fingertips and the feet. Option to take Gomukhasana arms here. Right arm reaches up, bend the elbow. Maybe the left hand squeezes the elbow in towards your ear. Or you can take your arm behind you and start to walk it up to meet the other hand. It doesn't have to touch, but it can. You might clasp your hands. Continue to bend into the front knee, grounding here. Almost like you're leaning back into your arm. Another breath in. As you exhale, unravel your arms, let your right hand come to the right thigh, and then reach up through the left fingertips and lean back, peaceful warrior. Side angle as you exhale, left forearm onto the left thigh, right arm up and alongside the ear. Let's pause here for a couple of breaths. You might choose to bring the right hand into the low back for a half bind. Or maybe exploring what it'd feel like to kind of roll the right arm in, the upper arm in, and then wrapping the arm under the left thigh. You might clasp your hands behind you or in that general direction. Just options, finding a good place for you. Another breath in, another breath out. If you have a bind, slowly start to unravel. Let's come up for peaceful warrior. One breath in, curling open, inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down to frame your front foot. Lift your back heel off of the ground. Right hand's gonna stay grounded here. Side plank. So you can stay on the hand, or if you wanna bring the forearm down, it's up to you. Left foot will step back and stack on top of the right, grounding through the hand or the forearm, your call. Pressing into the earth. Good. Pressing through the heels even. Another breath in. Downward facing dog. Plant the hand, lift the hips. Let's lift onto the tippy toes. Inhale. And then bend the knees and point the knees and toes to the right as you lift your hips up and back. Pressing into the hands. Good. Come back to a tippy toe position and then soften the heels back towards the ground. Down dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring the knees down onto the mat. Firm the front of the body. And stretch your arms up, standing on the knees. Inhale. Hands come to your low back. Mini camel, elbows hug in, curl open. And then hands slide onto the hips as you lengthen the spine up and over the pelvis. Big step forward with the left foot here. Grounding through the left foot, let's tuck the right toes. And then big step forward to the top of the mat. Right foot meets the left, fold forward, drop in. And inhale, stand all the way up. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the low back. Interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles back, curl open. Exhale to fold over the legs, head is heavy. Knees soften and then chair pose. Bend the knees, hands release and stretch up. Nice, everybody. Stand on the right foot, left knee draws in. Prep in for your figure four, we're going there. So just taking your time to cross the ankle over the thigh, drop the hips back any amount, and then just start to move in your own, at your own pace. Left arm might come under the right for eagle arms. You can give yourself a hug here, and then start that little flow. Inhale, lifting elbows away from knees or legs, and then exhale, curling in a bit. Little funky feeling. Inhale, lifting open, separating space in the center of the body, and then exhale, curling and rounding. Inhale to unravel your arms, bring the right hand to the hip, left hand to the knee, or peace sign fingers to the big toe. Bring the knee or the foot out to the side. Maybe you start to straighten the leg a little bit or a lot. Just keeping the awareness of your upper body, the shoulders, the arms drawing back into their sockets. Good. Let's bring the leg or the foot or the knee back through the center. And then releasing your hand from your leg, stretch your leg out. Muscle strength here, lifting up, inhale. And then big swoosh back with the foot, step it on down, warrior two, bend into the front knee, arms stretch out into a T. Gomukhasana arms is an option here if you'd like. Bend the left elbow, bring the hand behind the neck. Maybe your arm comes overhead or back behind you, your choice. Rebending into the front knee, committing to that stance, that strength in the legs. Good, everybody. Unravel the bind on an exhale, left hand on the left thigh, right arm sweeps up, peaceful warrior, inhale. Exhale, side angle, right forearm to the right thigh, left thumb on side here. Pausing here for a couple of breaths, exploring the shape. Maybe you wrap the right arm up and in so it can wrap under the right leg for a bind. Or a half bind, whatever feels right for you. Less is more, of exploring what that might look like here. On your next exhale, slowly unravel your arms. Come back up for just a moment. Peaceful warrior, inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Back heel lifts. Left hand or forearm on the mat, side plank. Right foot steps back. Lift up through the right side body. Press through the heels, another breath in, and then exhale, down dog. Right hand comes down, lift your hips up high. Let's come on to the tippy toes. Inhale, and then bend the knees and toes to the left, pointing knees and toes to the left. Bend the knees, draw the hips back. All right, come back through the center. Inhale, down dog, exhale. Good, another breath in, another breath out, lower down onto your knees. Good, and then stretch your arms up, stand up on the knees, bring your hands to your low back, exhale, mini camel, little back bend here. Maybe you notice you lean a little farther back each time, maybe not. Stand up tall in the spine, hands to the hips. Step the right foot forward, tuck the left toes. This time, a little more balance challenge. Think about keeping the hands on the hips. Bring your gaze forward and maybe hover through warrior three as you step into your right foot. You can lift your left leg back behind you and then plant the foot down next to the right and fold forward. Soften the knees, head drops in. Stand all the way up, big stretch up, reach up, hands down to your sides as you exhale. Bring the right knee in towards your chest and sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale into your warrior three. So we're pressing back through the right heel, hands to your sides for that airplane arm shape, kind of like locust. Turn the right toes down towards the ground. Soften the front knee a little bit. Take another breath in. And then big step with the right foot back behind you, high lunge. Let's sweep the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms, lean back a little bit. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Let's hover over the front thigh, hands to the sides, lean forward a bit. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Cactus. Inhale, sweeping up. Hands to the sides, hinge forward any amount. Inhale, reach the arms up, cactus arms. Exhale. And inhale, stretch your arms up and overhead. Let's bring the hands down onto the ground. 3-point dog, left leg will sweep up and back. Let's pause here for a moment, maybe stacking the hips. You can bend your left knee and open up here. Press into the hands and just exploring that idea of enjoyment. What would feel enjoyable here? So pushing to your limits might not, maybe it would. Explore, check in. Let's take another breath in. Stretch your legs straight back behind you and then draw your knee in towards your nose. Exhale and step the foot on through. Warrior 3 for 1. Last beat. Step in, hover the back foot. And then drop your right foot down to meet the left. Fold forward, exhale. Head drops, chin to chest. Rise up, reach up. Hands float down to your sides like you're swimming. Good. Left knee into chest. Stand up on the right leg. Press the leg back for your warrior 3. Good. Pausing here, feeling the toes turn down towards the ground, the spine lengthens. And all these little cues, they don't have to be simultaneous. They can be trying one cue and the other. Let's come into our high lunge, stepping back with the back foot, grounding, and sweeping the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, offer the heart here, a little lean back. And inhale, sweep the arms up. And leaning over the front leg, hands to your sides like the spine or an extension of the back leg. Inhale, arms up. Flow with your breath, bend the elbows. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, rise up, strong legs. Bend your elbows, offer the heart here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Let's sweep the left leg, right leg up and back. 3-point dog. Open the hip, find some movement here if you'd like. Hands pressing into the earth. All right, let's straighten the leg out. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose. Look forward, step forward. Warrior 3, just a beat here. Inhale. And stepping forward, folding forward. Exhale, drop in. Inhale, rise all the way up, stretch up. Hands down to your sides. Exhale. Walk your feet out wide towards the edges of the mat. Let's come into Malasana. Letting your hips drop low. Hands or forearms might come onto your thighs here. So Ethan is really low here. It might not feel enjoyable for you to go that low. So just kind of check it in. What feels good? Maybe a little movement. A steady breath here in and out. Next inhale, let's straighten the legs, fold forward, let your toes turn forward. Maybe widen your legs out a little bit. Grab opposite elbow and opposite hand, sway a little side to side if that would feel good to you. All right, bring your hands onto your hips. Lift halfway, lengthen your back, look forward. Root through the feet and inhale to stand all the way up. Let's hop the feet together or heel toe the feet together. Sweep your arms up. Exhale to dive over the legs. Let your inhale bring you up halfway, lengthen. And then step on back to your downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out, lower onto the knees. And then inhale, stand up on the knees. So stretching the arms up and bringing the hands down to your low back. Moving towards camel pose again. Option here to bring your blocks, if you have them, next to your feet. Don't know if you want these. I'm just going to show that it's an option. But having the blocks there kind of makes a place for your hands to reach back for if you want to go that far back. Thinking about this idea of sort of drawing the front ribs in, pressing the knees down, and then lengthening up through the armpits. Hands can stay on the low back that whole time. You do not need to reach for blocks or your ankles, but know it's an option. And to come out of the pose, think about squeezing the legs together a bit, lifting straight back up. Good, and then just come to your tabletop for a moment. You might take a couple rounds of cat curl, cat round of the back, and taking the opposite action. If you'd like to take another round of camel, that is option one. You can make your way there in your own time, or you can lower onto the belly and move towards bow pose. And essentially, that's the one where you bend your knees and grab the tops of the feet or your ankles. So we moved through all those variations of Shalabhasana. Definitely prepared for this in the chest and shoulder area. Your call on how you want to move into your next back bend. 2 to 3 more breaths wherever you are, and you can release out of that in your own time. Resting, pausing. We'll all meet in child's pose. Setting hips back towards the heels. Forehead meets the earth. An option to crawl the hands over to the right side of your mat here. Little side body action. And gently crawling back through the center. A couple breaths on the other side. Gently bringing the hands back through the center, press into the palms, shift forward. When you're ready, table. And then swing your legs out in front of you. Sit down. Okay, let's stretch the right leg straight and fold your left knee in so the sole of the foot's on the inside of the thigh. Frame your right leg with your hands so your back is long. You might even lean forward a little bit. Sometimes that can be helpful for kind of deepening the hip creases a little. And then option here to bring your gaze over the right shoulder. So you just find a little twist here. You might even walk your right hand back behind you. Good. Just taking another breath in and then folding over your right leg. So coming out of the twist, dropping in, kind of imagining folding into that space. Starting to slow things down a little bit. Let's gently crawl the hands back, lift the chest, and then scoop your left knee into your hands and bring the sole of the foot on the ground. You can keep your foot on the inside of your leg or pop your leg over to the outside of your right leg here. Lift up in the chest, reach the left arm up, the right arm up. And then draw the gaze over the left shoulder. Twist here. You can hug your knee in, or you can hook the elbow to the outside of your leg. Another breath in. Hold as you exhale, maybe deepen the twist. And then inhale, release back through the center. Let's switch sides. Left leg extends, right knee folds in. Maybe lean forward a little bit, find your sitting bones. Walk your hands forward and then look over the left shoulder. Option here to bring the left hand behind you. You're finding a little different kind of twist here. On your next exhale, turn forward, fold over the extended leg. Deborah Adele continues to talk about Brahmacharya in this really beautiful way. She says, if we stop and reflect on our lives or out at the world, we can see an innate intelligence about things. It is as if a beautiful tapestry is being woven, and we are one of the colors of thread being moved by a needle held by something greater than we are. And gently walking the hands back, lifting the chest, moving into your twist. Right knee points up, maybe crossing the foot over your left leg. Left arm reaches up, find some space through the left side body, and then twist to the right, hook the elbow or hug in. And see if you can keep extending through the left heel a little bit, just knowing that it's still there. It's a part of your tapestry here. Let's take in another breath in and out. And eventually unravel. And let's set up for a heart opener. So if you have a couple of blocks or a bolster or even a rolled up blanket would work, we'll make a little bench for your heart to open onto. So option would be a bolster long ways under your back, or you can do a block and a block, one for your head behind and one for your back in the middle. So you can decide what you'd like here to lie back onto to kind of make a little more space across the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll be here for about another minute, seeing if there's any areas of tension in your body that could soften a little bit. In the next few breaths, you may choose to stay right where you are if you're feeling comfortable, or you can gently make your way down onto your back and start to set up for final rest. And please know there's always other options of shapes that you can be in for this too. If child's pose would feel nice as you rest, that would be great. As you move into this restful place of stillness, you might notice what's right here to enjoy, what's right here to experience, to take in. Gently start to bring your awareness back into your body. You might notice the sounds that are most prevalent in your space. Any sensation that sticks out to you in your physical body. Gently inviting movement back in when you're ready. Maybe taking a full stretch with your arms overhead and your toes towards the bottom of the mat. Bringing the soles of the feet on the ground. And gently rolling onto one side. And just pressing yourself up when you're ready back into a seat. Finding your root. Lengthen your back. If you'd like, you can bring the palms together in front of the heart, gently pressing the heels of the palms together. The bones of the hands connect. And acknowledging yourself for showing up for this practice, acknowledging everyone else in this class, maybe even opening your eyes and just taking a peek at your screen and acknowledging those that are here. And thank you all for showing up for practice and wishing you a wonderful night. Feel free to stick around for a little debrief if you would like to